All right, what's up, good people? It's your boys, Beards of War, back again. You got myself, Thick Nick Fury, aka the Chocolate Avenger, FBR for President, Fat Broken Rambo, aka the Digital Media Demigod. Behind the scenes, we got the Conductor of Chaos, hey Captain Jack, and Scorched Earth couldn't be with us today. He's out there doing family man stuff, man. But we all need to do it. All right, so today we got spoilers, man. For the movie we picked is The Smashing Machine, starring Dwayne The Rock Johnson and Emily Blunt. This is basically a true story based off of Mark Kerr in the early days of MMA. There's a lot, I guess, to unpack with this movie. I know it does have some Oscar considerations. Um, there's a lot to this. We're gonna get into it a little bit. So again, if you haven't seen it already, make sure you guys pause and come back to us. But let us know what you think. So we're gonna start with our opinion. So what you got, Rambo?
Yeah, man. I know that we talked before the show. We were asking what we thought, and I was like, please just hold it so we can just do it once. But before I kick into this thing, we have a special announcement at the end of the video. So I ask if you guys are checking this video out, please stick around to the end. It's a very special announcement, very near and dear to all of our hearts about Captain Jack and the beautiful joy he is spreading in the world with something special. So stick around for that. All right. So the Smashing Machine. All right. It was it
Well,
was
let's tell
frustrating,
them what
man.
it's about. Let's
All
tell them
right.
what it's about first.
It's around the turn of the millennium, so 90, I think it's like 99 is when it kicks off. So Mark
Yeah.
Kerr is a uh wrestler turned fighter, and he's fighting mixed martial arts in the precursor of UFC over in Japan for an organization called Pride. And it seems like it's kind of like a bracketed fight kind of environment. So they start with eight on each side and they whittle down to one on one. Mark dominates his first fight in the movie, crushes the guy. It's pretty brutal. And then the second fight, he gets kind of boxing on the ground and he takes a lot of illegal blows to the head, and it rings his bell pretty good. Yeah, he's struggling with. I couldn't tell if it was. I know it was opioids, but I wasn't sure if it
Right.
was also steroids. I'm not trying to throw
Right.
negative
Yeah.
shade or anything, but some kind of substance that he's abusing. I'll just leave it at that. And so what it boiled down to was that basically, sorry, man, Jesus, you're fucking killing me, man.
Yeah, we get little trackers and we get some lively comments. So
Yeah,
Jesus
man.
says smash machine with the rock simple jack. And I can't be convinced otherwise. And I can't say that he's wrong. I'm yeah, I can't say that you're wrong on that, Zeus.
Zeus, you won the internet for the day, brother. Like what he just said is you could tell it was a passion project for The Rock, man. It didn't lift you up as much as I was hoping it would by the end. By the end of the movie, I was just like, this is where we're gonna end it. Like we have no completion of his track record. So he basically goes through rehab after like the loss, and he's trying to, comprehend his first loss in his professional career. His girlfriend, played by Emily Blunt, um, she's kind of like they're in a toxic relationship. It was is kind of how the movie showed it to me. Like once he goes through rehab and he gets clean, she's still kind of like partying, consuming alcohol, and he rattled off Advil. I guess maybe he's working his program, and uh, any kind of medication is frowned upon in that program. So I understood. Like I got like he was conveying it right. I just didn't understand where the movie was going with this because he's up, he crashes, he's kind of up again, he crashes again, and then it just kind of cuts to his buddy winning the championship, which that was cool. Um, and then it goes to the real Mark Kerr, who's still alive in Arizona in 2025, and we kind of see like this nice sweet send off of the actual person. And that's it, man. Like we don't get a track record on like all of his accomplishments. Him and Dawn, Emily Blunt's character, they get back together. They have a son. They get divorced after 6 years of marriage, and he helped, him and his buddy Coleman helped establish the UFC as to what it is today, is how the movie kind of ended it for us to
Yeah.
to take away. I just didn't feel anything for this movie. Like you can kind of tell that Rock put his heart in this movie. And I would tell you that if you want to watch The Rock and see his acting chops, like Nick and I have talked about this movie to death. Go watch Faster. Like
Yeah.
he is in a different realm of acting in that film than he has his entire filmography. And I just don't think this movie was enough for him. And I'd say the same thing about Emily Blunt. I think you have a ton of talent, and I just don't think that the script moved the story along to where I was really invested or like rooting for him or anything like that. Like he did a lot of awesome stuff, like getting clean, going through rehab. That's heavy lifting, man. And he bounced back. His training sequences were good. I did kind of think the fight choreography was lacking. Um,
Oh,
and
dude, don't get
and
me started.
and I'm being kind when I say that because my recommendation for the week, and actually Nick's recommendation of the week too, the fight choreography was so much better in both of those films. I I wanted to like it because I like The Rock, and I don't need to see this movie again.
Yeah, bro. Where to start? Um, like you said, it this movie really didn't dive into anything, right? So he's dealing with this addiction. They don't even go into like the addiction part, right? He went to rehab for what looked like a long weekend. Like, he's rolling in with a
Yeah.
bag. He rolls out. I don't even know how long he was in rehab,
She
right?
insinuates it's 21. I think either he or she says that it was a 21-day program.
Right. Didn't appear that way. Like there was no like, okay, show us the struggle. Like I didn't really get to see the struggle. He was crying in the bed one time when his friend came to visit him in the hospital, and that was like it for how he was dealing with
Yeah.
it. And he kind of got over with like no setbacks. You didn't see any setbacks. Um, they didn't really go into the volatile relationship between him and his girlfriend. They had these like most polite arguments where he's like, "You're not being nice," and I'm like,
Until that end scene, and then it escalated really
"Right."
fucking quick.
I mean, you went from, "Oh, you're not being nice because you didn't prune the cactus," to, "I'm gonna put a gun to my head and kill myself." Like I'm like, "Oh, whoa, wait a minute. Where do we get to this part?" Right? He's breaking up these doors apparently made out of like cardboard in the
Yeah.
house, and that's like all you get to see of the rage, right? Um, Again, the fight choreography, I was severely disappointed. Every fight was the same thing: lunge in, take him down to the ground, ground and pound. That was every single fight.
Yeah.
He had maybe threw three strikes, and I get it. He's going from a wrestler background. Well, then show me that. And who better versed to show me a wrestling background than a
Then The Rock.
wrestler? Like, come on, dude. Like they did. It's almost like they didn't put any effort into that part of the story. And and I'll be honest. My girlfriend's more familiar with Mark Kerr than I am. Maybe not necessarily as a personality, but as a fighter. Like she followed him in the early days of MMA, and I'm like, is a dude like delayed, like almost the Rock's portrayal of him almost made me feel like maybe he was like maybe like a little bit slow or some form of autism. Like he didn't speak like a regular person. He was really polite, but it almost came across as he's not all there, if that makes sense, right? Because he's like, hey, I get you wondering about my eyes. He's like kind of just talking to people in the doctor's office, and I'm like, that's an odd conversation to have. Like maybe he does have some kind of developmental situations that they'll explore in the movie. Nothing. Like I got no explanation for anything. I think throughout his
Y-
career, Mark Kerr was like 15 and 11 or something like that. So like it was just so fractured, and they didn't really dive into any one thing where you could follow that part of the story to the end. It was like, okay, his friends wins the championship without them
Yeah.
even fighting. Like I
It's
thought, okay, at
almost
least they'll fight.
it
Nope.
was almost like they needed a director's cut of this film to be like another hour longer. Because I would tell you that the tender moments were the moments where I was kind of interested to see where it was going to go because I was kind of put off by the fight. Or the fight choreography is what I'll say, and you have some UFC talent in there. And when Nick does his recommendation, there's a connective tissue with one actor who is an MMA fighter.
Yeah,
So I
Bash
mean,
Rutten.
what's that?
Bash Rutten.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I don't know, man. I just felt a little disappointed, and I don't see the Oscar buzz that everyone's so pissed off about because to me, this movie didn't lift that heavy. Um, I
Yeah.
I just didn't get
Yeah,
it.
yeah. It almost like I said, it seemed like he had some kind of maybe some delay. Even when you see him at the end, it's like okay, like it seemed like a nice guy, and I guess maybe that's really what it was. He was just a nice guy. He had a pleasant demeanor, even though he was an imposing figure. Um, of course, Rock looked fantastic. I mean, what can you say? It's the freaking Rock. Like the dude, like Jet, definitely. I can't say he beefed up for the film, but the dude's just a naturally, not naturally, but he puts in the work. So it's not like you saw a huge transformation from him.
The
The
man's a
the
brick shit house, though. I mean,
right. So the Oscar nomination was for like best makeup and hair. Okay. The Rock. being snubbed for best actor. No, I can't really say that. I mean, obviously we see him in a different light, but that doesn't necessarily make you Oscar worthy just because you've done something different.
And I will
Like you
say,
said, Faster was one of my favorite ones,
yeah, man,
and
he is a different degree of acting in that film, man, with very little dialogue, but he carries it with his face.
right.
Kind of like I'd argue that like V for Vendetta with Hugo Weaving, like you don't ever see the actor's face, but his voice carries that character, man,
Hmm.
beautifully.
Yeah.
I say the same thing about Faster and The Rock and that, just fantastic. Yeah, for this, and that was the one thing, like when they got to the point where, and this is ultra rare, but in that situation, the cops actually took her away, which I thought was very strange considering the fact
Right.
you have this behemoth, there's a gun on the floor, the door is broken down. Like it's gonna be his word versus hers. But I mean, honestly, like I would have thought he was gonna be leaving the house for sure. But
Right.
you didn't get any you didn't get any rebound on that storyline either. Like, hey man, did she go to rehab as well? You know, how did you guys heal and come back together? We just get a couple lines of or caption dial or caption subtitles at the end to say like, hey, they got married and made it for 6 years and they had a son, and that's it.
Yeah, yeah, and
It was
no shade to Emily Blunt. I thought she did a decent job. But the relationship, it just wasn't a whole lot of depth to it, and especially for something that's so pivotal because I would say it was part of the reason why he lost the match is because remember he left Japan to go
yeah.
back home to be with her. So let's explore that. Let's explore the deterioration and how oh well he's not focused on his training because they're going back and forth. Like I said, the fights, yeah, he blew up a couple of times and broke a door, but other than that, they were like there was no physical abuse, and maybe there wasn't in the relationship. I'm not saying you got to add that for Hollywood, but like it was almost like okay you guys had a normal argument like I wouldn't even call it a toxic relationship, you know what I mean? It's not like until you realize like oh, okay so she has an issue, like it wasn't even evident to me that she had an issue with substance abuse in the beginning until you get to the end like oh wow okay so she's literally like an anchor for him and him trying
Yeah,
to
and she
get
even
clean.
alluded to it when she's got her lunch date with her buddy, and she's kind of like complaining about him, and she's like, I liked it better when he was actually using because then I could take care of him. So I mean, she's enabling the behavior just by that line of dialogue itself.
Right.
But and I would argue that she kind of comes back because the scene where she brings the bowl that he bought her in Japan, and she's kind of put it together. Like there's a sweet like engage conversation back and forth with them. And I'm like, oh shit, maybe they're gonna go the distance and maybe they're gonna rekindle and like everything's gonna be awesome. This is gonna be like, Rocky and his wife,
Adrian,
Adrian.
yeah.
Jesus, how did I forget that?
You
TBI
literally
kids,
screamed it eight
don't
times.
play with IEDs. But yeah, man. So like there's I was waiting for that moment to like stand up and cheer for this guy, and I just don't feel the film delivered that.
Yeah.
And
And then the
and
fight he lost was like unceremonious. Like it was just so wow, wow, that's it. Like it was like that's it. And then he's getting stitched up. I think his chin is getting stitched up while his
yeah,
buddy's in there fighting the guy that initially beat him, kind of like Rocky with Drago kind of thing.
yeah.
And he's chuckling in the shower.
I felt that was strange too. Like, so so I know your recommendation and you know mine, so we're not spoiling anything when I bring this comparison up. But like we talked about before, I was like, this was everything. If you were hoping for this movie to be the next Wrestler, I would tell you to go back and watch The Wrestler with Mickey Rourke. Came out a few years ago. Darren Aronofsky
Excellent
directed
film.
it. It's an incredible film. And it's in the similar vein of this. Now, granted, this is a true story. That film is not, but I would tell you that that story and how it moved forward, like the redemption arc, building back and doing what you love kind of thing, like it's told in a much more beautiful and respectful manner than I felt this film was.
Right. Agreed. And if you want to watch a what I call a decent MMA movie, Here Comes the Boom with Kevin
Oh, it's so
James.
good. So
Like
good.
and it is, and I'll be honest with you, Kevin James' transformation at the time, because remember when he did King of Queens, he was, heavy. And I was
Yeah.
like, wow, he got in shape for this movie.
He
So
really did,
I was
man.
impressed. And the choreography, the fight choreography was so much better. They actually, you watched him progress, you watched
Yep.
him learn and train. And this is a comedy. And it's like they
It's
took
a
more
PG.
care with that. Right.
It's a
And
fucking
it
PG
can be
comedy.
done. So
Yeah.
I was honestly surprised at the lack of it in a movie that's basically using a wrestler who is familiar with contact, familiar with how to do moves in the ring, So I'm like, okay, all right, maybe
And,
he's been out the ring a little too long. I don't
and
know.
what kills me about Here Comes the Boom is the amount of like love and dedication the UFC kind of supported that movie with, because there's a lot of UFC like MMA fighters in that film. Don't ask me to name names because I don't follow UFC or anything, but like I know those or I know those people just
Yeah,
by
like
seeing
Mark
them on TV.
Coleman. Yeah,
But like they put a lot of heart and soul into Here Comes the Boom, and I once again, work of fiction versus this true story of Mark Kerr. I felt like maybe you did a disservice to the man because like his story just didn't really resonate. And like I said, it's just my opinion, man. Don't bite my fucking head off, but that's just where I landed on that one.
yeah. So I'll say, good stab at it. The Rock took a good stab at a drama that, like you said, probably something near and dear to him. But I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. If you guys want a good MMA type movie, it wouldn't come with my recommendation. But they did what they could. And other than that, I don't have too much more to say about it, man.
Yeah, man. So I mean, you talk Here Comes the Boom, so I'm gonna give you my recommendation for the week. And Jesus already kind of stole my thunder, man. So yeah, Tom Hardy and Joel Egerton in Warriors, or is it Warrior? I forget if it's
I think
singular or
it's
plural.
Warrior.
But man, it's two brothers coming from various backgrounds. Tom Hardy is a former Marine who's AWOL, and then Joel Egerton is a former MMA fighter turned like high school science teacher, I believe. Very Here Comes the Boomish. Told in a much more serious lens. Nick Nolte plays the dad. Um, just all-star cast of phenomenal actors in this film, and basically it's very similar bracketed fight competition, and it comes down to brother versus brother, and man, that movie can make you cry and stand up and cheer in probably the same 10 seconds of film at the end, especially. It's just a phenomenal film. And the fucking fight choreography in that film is fantastic, dude. Especially that opening fight where Tom Hardy's pretty much like a no-name and he's like, I'll fight him. And he gets in the ring and pummels their fucking VIP. Just kicks his fucking ass, man. And you got the one dude on the side that's filming and is publishing it to YouTube and shit, so he gets a lot of traction off that. But just like the sheer brutality of Tom Hardy in that film versus like Joel Egerton's more like calculated and tactical, like he's thinking shit through and how to defeat his enemy. And especially that fight at the end, man, when they go toe to toe and Tom Hardy finally breaks down as a character, you're just like, God, man, that movie resonates with me. Like I think it's a beautiful film.
Yeah.
Can't recommend it enough.
Great recommendation, man. Like I said, my
Yeah, you
recommendation that
too.
we mentioned is Here Comes the Boom. Kevin James, Salma Hayek.
Of course, I forgot. I
It's
watch
not
that movie
not
at
the
least
reason
twice a
for
year,
it
man.
being
I fucking
a
love
good
that
pick.
movie.
And Henry Winkler, man, the Fonz,
Oh,
right?
it's so good.
Um, so and
I
again,
left
this
the
one
applesauce on the
also,
dashboard.
right? And this also has Bash written as a trainer, right? So
Yeah, he's
and the
so good
beauty
in
of
it.
right, the beauty of this movie is, you got basically a teacher, and the school is failing, and they have to, drum up some money. So he said, "Hey, I wrestled in high school." Then they get the idea of going and getting some MMA fights and losing. Like he's no intention of winning. And as he's doing this, he's getting his butt kicked for the school, man. And it's like, touching, and they're getting ready to cancel the music program. And there's a girl that sings in the music part of it, and then you just watch him try to accrue this money, and then what is it? I think one of the administrators is stealing the money.
Yeah,
So now we got this big UFC fight. I think it's in Vegas or something like that against like the top contender, and he's like, "Well, how much do I get if I win?" And they're like, "If you win," and then everybody's like, "If
right?
you win." And it's like, man, and that's just, you just know, man, that feel good moment is there. And like when they get to the final fight, and then the school is there and they're singing, you get goosebumps, man. Like, yeah, bro, like everybody showed up for him. And he gets in the ring, and you just watch, like, the fight choreography is great, and you can see he's still looking like an amateur. So he's not like, oh, he's going in there doing spin kicks, but he's using what he learned and
Yes.
how to maneuver, and all the trainer that came in, and the arm bars. They went to that thing where, oh man, you gotta get that grip back, and then you watch him get the grip back, and he picks the guy up, and it slams him at the end. I'm like, dude, that was just glorious. And it's a comedy, dude, but
Yeah.
it gave me so much more feeling than this movie did. This movie is about someone who a pioneer of the sport, So I just feel like Here Comes the Boom. If you want a feel good fight movie, I think it's playing right now on Paramount Plus. You can't go wrong with it. Kevin James does a fantastic job. Again, you got a good cast with Henry
Oh
Winkler,
yeah.
Salma Hayek, and Bash written. So, yeah, man. So that's my recommendation.
You know, I gotta
Um,
say, man, my favorite scene in that movie, especially the end fight, is Kevin James getting his ass handed to him for the first two rounds, and he's still standing at the third round, and he still puts his hand up to show like respect to the other fighter, and then the champ finally like taps him, and I'm just like, he's like, okay, cool,
respects him.
you proved it, man, and yeah, it's one of those movies where like you just want to stand up and cheer because like he's a good human doing fucking awesome stuff for the right reason, and it's just a beautiful film to see, man. It's
Mhm.
it's like the replacements of MMA.
There you go.
And
There you
like
go.
the replacements wants me to go out and strap on fucking pads and hit motherfuckers on a football team again, like chick stick scars, glory lasts forever kind of stuff. Love that film. Love this film. Love Warrior. Don't love the Smashing Machine.
Yeah. And that
Sorry.
we'll tie that up with a bow. But as you alluded to earlier, man, we have a special guest
We
uh
do.
joining us with some great news. So our conductor of chaos, Captain Jack, take it away, brother.
Hey guys, thanks for inviting me onto the show. Super fun. Always great to be here. So this weekend we had This Is Not a Draft, the documentary that both of you and uh
Scorched earth.
Scorched
Scorched
Earth. There you
Earth.
go. Sorry, I
No,
was to,
you went with the pseudo.
I
Good
went with the
job.
pseudo. Yeah. You guys all participated in and huge thanks to you all for participating. Like super fun, really great story. I gotta tell you, man. So we got into the Chandler International Film Festival in Arizona, and we were just honored to be brought in. But not only were we brought in, we had a sold out showing this past Saturday, every seat
Nice.
in the house, and we had about 10 people who stood through the film. Film's an hour
Wow.
40. So like
Wow.
these are some champs for riding it out for the whole time, right? Like absolutely loved it. So super positive experience. We were sponsored by Jeff Reynolds Production. He bought a bunch of the seats and brought out as many veterans as we could get out of the East Valley here in Phoenix, Arizona. But it was super awesome. Not only was Jeff bringing out veterans, but he was bringing out Papa Snoop. And so
Uh-oh.
we had Papa Snoop come out, and let me tell you, that guy is so cool. So
Yeah.
cool. I hope we
Nice.
get to do more things with him. He was really fun, really positive, all about that veteran energy, man. 3 Purple Hearts, bro. 3 Purple Hearts in Vietnam. Yeah. That
Ouch.
guy, he earned it, right? So much love to Papa Snoop. Bro, you're the best. Love you, man. Thanks so
Hell
much
yeah.
for coming to
Hell
the
yeah.
show, coming out and seeing the movie, coming out and bringing folks out with you. Like, just totally awesome. So, really positive experience. And that was just Saturday. Then Sunday, they invited us to the awards ceremony where they handed out some hardware.
Hell
Woo!
yeah.
We got
Look at
the
that.
best documentary feature film at the festival. And let me tell you, man, it was not expected, but it was very, very much an honor. So,
That's fucking
Dude.
cool, brother.
We are
really, really happy.
award-winning actors in a documentary, The Beards of War.
We're
That's
on
right.
IMDb, bitch.
I'm claiming it. It's going on my resume, bitch.
Oh man. Yeah,
Dude,
so
I was so honored to have been a part of that, man. I got to tell you, from the beginning to the end, you just showed how much of your heart and soul you put into it, man, and your beautiful wife by your side every step of the way, dude. Like to have
Hell
one
yeah.
like that, to have a backbone like that, there's you already know, man. There's nothing like it.
Hell yeah.
And I just appreciate you, man. I appreciate you sharing and allowing us to be a part of it. And dude, I just think it's just the beginning, bro. I think it's just the beginning. We'll find out where the red carpet events will be in Hollywood and which ones
15%, brother.
Salma Hayek will be attending.
I got 15% left in the
And
tank.
there we go. That's it. That's all I need, man.
there you go.
I'll
just
run
this
an
one
interference.
wave. I just wanted to wave at me. Yeah, I'll be like a little kid again.
There you go. Right on, man. Well, yeah. Thanks so much for having me on the show, guys. Appreciate it. Sorry the film you guys watched wasn't as good as the one I watched this Saturday, but
Yeah, yeah, dude. I would put us up against the Smashing Machine. They should look make this happen. I don't know who out the YouTube world put This Is Not a Draft up against the Smashing Machine because I don't think they sold out any theaters. I'm just saying.
Well, we
I
tagged The Rock in the narrative, so I'm pretty
Oh,
sure if his agent
right.
or his PR
We're
guys are
calling the
tracking
rock
this on the
out.
hashtag, be like, "Hey, man,
Yeah,
let's go. We can do a double
calling the rock
feature and let's
out,
see
man.
where
We
we
calling you
stand."
out, Dwayne. Calling you out, Dwayne the Rock Johnson and Mark
Just,
Kerr and all you guys, Mark
just
Coleman.
don't hit me, man.
Yeah,
I'm
right. Not the
brittle.
face. not the face.
I was gonna say, man, I did not see that film, so I cannot speak to its quality, but I do love The Rock. Like, Rock's
We
awesome.
do, and it does,
He's
just
an
changes
awesome person,
nothing.
man.
We still love you guys, man. We still love you, Rock. You know, good job, man. Good job of shooting for the moon, man. But you know, it is what it is, man. We try to be honest here on the show, and it's just, you know, we just share our experiences, and there are some people that disagree with us. So, you know, check it out for yourselves. If you guys have not seen it, support the movie. We'll always say that. Support the movie. Go see it. I hate when people just take people's word for it. Go
Yeah.
see it. Have your own experience and come back. And that's where the best part of it is the dialogue, the back and forth. Oh, this is why I liked it. This is why I didn't like it. And that's healthy. You know, it's healthy to have that dialogue with each other.
Dude, I
even
love
if
a
you
good
disagree.
debate, man.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
And I
That's
want
how
to
I ended up in Fast and Furious 11.
Civilly. First person that resorts to name calling is a loser.
there you go.
Should I just call him a loser?
I think you might have earned that spot. Dude, I will say though, I've been streaming a lot of films lately, and watching my own film in a theater made me realize there's a reason why people are in love with theaters. Like, there's just no other experience than getting it with other people,
No, there's
right?
not.
Being able to hear the
Absolutely.
audience laugh, being able to hear the audience
Absolutely.
cry, it's just so magical. So
Dude, I
go
say that
out and
all the
watch it
time,
in the
man.
theater, bro. Go check them out.
Absolutely. Yep. All right, people. Well, I mean, that's it for us for this show, man. Once again, Captain Jack, man, we appreciate you, brother. And hey, Thick Nick Fury out here.
Fat Broken Rainbow out here. Congratulations, Jack. Love you, bro.
Thanks, guys. All right. So I just want to say this is not a draft.com. Check it out. Keep an eye out for us. We may be coming to an area near you. And if we got any more news, we'll post it on the socials. So thanks so much. Captain Jack out here.
Seriously, though, tell The Rock our shit's better.